All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Last night, Golden State, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
What an ugly game.
Very ugly game. No Steph Curry. He left with a hamstring injury. Did not look good. Warriors end up winning 99-88. Just an abomination offensively from the Minnesota Timberwolves yesterday, as Anthony Edwards just he had a rough one. Like, put some up there late, but for the most part was really struggling with his shot the entire game. Julius Randle, woof, Rudy Gobert, and Draymond Green. I mean, looking spry. Comes through for them. Buddy Hield, another monster game from 3, and Jimmy Butler flirts with the triple-double.
Sick of that.
I would say this.
Sick of him. Like, what are you going to do?
He lost his joy, and now he found it.
He did find his joy.
Oh, shut up.
What do you
I'm just
mean?
sick. This Buddy Hield guy, he has a comment every night.
Hey,
use finger quotes.
Buddy Hield got some big-ass gums.
Oh, does he?
when he smiles.
Is your new Chris Middleton?
Yeah.
No, his teeth are in line. If you can see him.
Got
He
gum.
just got gums.
Sick of this guy, man.
Like, it almost like his mouth opens up all the way past his nose, and you can see all this all up in here.
What does it say about Jimmy Butler?
What do you mean? What does it say?
Let's say you've been in a committed relationship for like 6 years, and you've gone through the highest of highs, and of course you're gonna have some lows too. But then within like 2 weeks, you got a new squeeze. That's a little sketchy.
Is it? I mean,
sketchy.
You knew that
we were together for 6 years.
Okay, but one side said, "I don't want this to be a relationship anymore."
Speaking of side, where did this Buddy Hield come from, huh?
He was there.
You're buddy with Buddy. Sick of this.
Is he supposed to not talk to anybody?
Oh, but just
supposed to FaceTime Nikola Jovic every single night?
I'm familiar with the act. I've seen this as this guy's ex. I've seen this over and over again. He's doing the
comedy act.
Oh no, we're friends. We're not friends.
That's the Kyle Lowry bit that he used to do with
Kyle Lowry, the Max Strus, the Tyler Hero, and he even did it with Ira Winderman. This guy's a hoochie.
What do you mean he did it with Ira Winderman?
Jimmy Butler's a hoochie.
What?
I don't trust him.
Are you kidding me?
Just sick as okay. We have the Knicks and the Celtics, of course. Never want to see them succeed. Well, listen, this Jimmy Butler Buddy Hield duo, it's getting close.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, though.
Close.
Nightmare scenario for all the petty watching, because if he's able to beat the Wolves without Steph Curry, if he does that and gets them to the Western Conference Finals, I mean, he's looked pretty right the entire time, Marcos. I don't know what to tell you.
Now, let me ask you, as a premium petty card holder.
Yep.
If you see him play the way he's playing, and he gets them to the Western Conference Finals, does it piss you off even more?
At him?
Yeah.
Why would that piss me off at him?
Because then you really know he was tanking it here.
I know that he was. I'm not a child. I know he was tanking it here. I mean, yes, I'm obviously pissed that he tanked it here. I don't like that he showed up his or refused to speak to his former teammates. I thought that was low rent. I understand the Heat's frustration, feeling like, hey, it was all him. Bam had nothing to do with it. Us finding all these undrafted gems had nothing to do with it. Dude, can this be one thing? This is one of the rare cases. Like, can both sides have a point here?
No.
Really? No. Why not?
Because you were getting paid to do a job.
I understand. There's no excuse for the way that he left. The way that he left was awful. I understand. I am not.
You know what? You're a fraud. You're a fraud.
Yeah.
You know why?
I told you to pay him. I told you to pay him.
You know why? Let me tell you why you're a fraud. Because if I change one name in that story, right? Your whole attitude changes, and you give the same exact reason you won't give to Jimmy to LeBron James.
Here's the thing with
I'm
LeBron.
not mad that he left. It's how he left.
Okay.
It's how he left.
I understand how that gets seems
No.
hypocritical. I can understand how that seems hypocritical.
Seems.
I can understand how that seems hypocritical. I understand. I
You're
understand that.
fraudulent.
I will even admit slight hypocrisy. I will admit slight hypocrisy. I've told you. Hold on. I was rooting against the Warriors, against the Rockets. I'm gonna tell you flat out. I was like, and I was furious with them. I'm like, Fred VanVleet, bum, Şengün. I'm like, I wanted them to do it. However, I have said this entire time, I can't find the same animosity at Jimmy Butler that I did at LeBron. Now, part of the reason is it is how you leave, because the Heat didn't want to pay Jimmy Butler. They decided. LeBron was like, he blindsided the Heat.
Yeah,
he's like,
but you still were
I'm
getting
out.
paid to play basketball right now.
Totally right, Leroy. What Jimmy Butler did was way more unprofessional than what LeBron did, but what LeBron did hurt more.
You know why? You want me to tell you it hurt more? Because LeBron was better and he had won 2 championships. That's why it hurt more.
I understand what you're saying there, and I don't disagree. LeBron was the best player on the planet. Jimmy Butler is not. However, Jimmy Butler went to his new destination, completely flipped their season, won, as part of them winning a playoff series, and now has them 1-0, taking home court advantage. So his effectiveness as a playoff player, more impressive right now than LeBron James, who's sitting at home. So I get
That's 40.
I get
When he left
when
he left the Heat, he went on to win 2 more championships. So that doesn't even fly.
Yeah, he won 2 more championships. I mean, needed a suspension and needed, Goran Dragic to get hurt, but he won his championships. Congratulations.
Wait a minute. LeBron didn't take Draymond's foot and put it on somebody's nuts.
He baited him. We all know he baited him. We all know. Like, let's not change history. We know he
Wait
baited
a minute. As a man, have you ever gone into a situation and say, I'm going to bait him. He's probably going to kick me in the junk, but it'll be worth it?
Magic says, in Tobin's defense, we respect that we played a part in Jimmy leaving because we didn't give him efficient help or money. LeBron was a rat the way that he left. Jimmy looked us in the face and said he didn't want to be here. Exactly. And that's what Pat Riley said. Smiling faces with hidden agendas. Now, to be fair, Magic, to the Heat, okay? Because again, I think both sides have points.
No, they don't.
No, I think both sides have points.
You no longer have a point when you don't play for the money you're getting paid for.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. And again, that is the numero uno argument. He dogged it. That's wrong. I think I've chastised him.
You know what? Exhibit A, one-legged 3.
His bigger point, though, when I try, look what happens.
But you didn't try. That's my bigger problem.
Because they didn't pay him.
He said he was going to try. So wait. Here's what's equivalent if LeBron had did this. If LeBron had said, I'm coming back, and then left. Okay? Jimmy Butler said, I'm going to come and ball out, and he didn't. That's 10 times worse. Because he lied. I don't care what he gave, what excuses he gave after the fact.
Well, no.
But when the season started and he knew he wasn't going to get paid, he said, I'm just going to go and ball out.
Is there a difference between lying and sneaking Dan Gilbert into South Florida?
Yes, here's why.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, you know why there's a difference? Because LeBron had every right to leave. His contract was up, and he could make that decision not to come back. While he was getting paid for the Heat, he played for the Heat. He never said, I'm going to come and ball out one more year and then tank it so he could get out.
What's a Pelicans game amongst friends?
Come on, dude. You have to be
I get it. I understand. What he did to the Heat was wrong, but counterpoint, was Jimmy wrong as far as his importance, his effectiveness, and whether he was worth the money? Because right now, the Warriors owner saying he was worth every penny. And he even said on the record, Yes, there were concerns, but he's been worth every penny. And now he has them up 1-0 in a series. They were dogs. No Steph Curry. If he's able to get them to the Western Conference Finals, Leroy.
Yes.
It's already undeniable how good he is as a playoff player. But if he's able to get this team to the Western Conference Finals, sans Steph, with Buddy Hield and the corpse of Draymond Green.
Can I also add one more caveat? The Warriors didn't have the stink of the last 2 years and Jimmy playing 55 games.
Of course, he's in the honeymoon phase.
So from that standpoint, we making it sound like all of a sudden the Heat came to that conclusion when they came to that conclusion based on the availability of Jimmy Butler.
Dude, I understand. That's why I say what Jimmy did was wrong, but Jimmy's point wasn't wrong.
You can't make a point after you punch a person in the face.
Dude, we just talked about Halliburton Hero, right?
Yep.
Because we say Jimmy Butler is not a regular season guy, right? Wes Goldberg says, not a regular season star. He's a playoff star. His effectiveness in the playoffs, whatever it is, because like you even look at shooting numbers weren't great last night, but whatever it is, what he's able to do to run a team, it's right there with any other player in the league. By himself, with all the pieces.
But counterpoint, playoffs. For the last 2 years, they've been in the play-in because Jimmy didn't play enough games.
They were in the play-in this year. You said play-in is playing.
But I'm just saying, like, okay, I get how he is in the playoffs, but you got to position yourself so you don't have to go through all of this.
Marcos, are you furious with him? I know you hate Buddy Hield and him.
I'm absolutely furious with him, dude. I do understand what you mean. You know, we were the ones like courting LeBron, and he kind of left us on red. That hurts.
But in all the things you could say about LeBron, and I don't argue about any of it, right? His contract was up. So any services that you were going to get next year were never promised, even though you may not like the way in which he did not provide his services the following year. I get all that. He had the right to go somewhere else. Jimmy was under contract.
Okay.
Or not this year, but this year and next year.
But he only wanted one more year, too. Like, that's the other thing. He just wanted one more year.
Again, man.
And everybody's going to get overpaid in the end. Everybody does. It's the NBA. Everybody gets overpaid at the end.
Okay.
And the other thing is, how can we sit here? How can we, Leroy, in good conscience, how can we sit here and disparage his importance? I can get how his act wears thin, but they just got smoked by a record amount, and everybody over there is saying he's the reason we are where we are.
Okay, that's great. Okay, but let me ask you a question. You understand what Pat Riley's argument was?
Yeah.
Right? And it's justified. Okay? That I don't give a rat's ass what Jimmy does in the playoffs if every year we're fighting for our lives in the play-in.
Okay, but the counterpoint to that would be, who's failed at their job more over the last 4 years, Pat Riley or Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler.
Really?
Because he hasn't played enough.
We're more in this situation because of the decisions Pat Riley's front office has made than Jimmy Butler.
Correct, but one of those decisions was Jimmy Butler, and he wasn't available. So what do? You think, here, are you the person that say, you know what? If I pay him, he's going to change?
I mean, that's been the case. Most of his problems when he's had problem places because they haven't paid him.
You're always going to have a hard time selling me on paying a guy 2 years from now when he's not giving you enough services right now. And I understand why a team or an organization wouldn't pay a player when their biggest concern is availability, and you think that's going to get better if you pay him. You have to have questions about that.
We'll take a break.